Today I want to talk to you guys about how I manifested what some call a miracle. Now, I had mentioned previously a little bit about how messed up I was. I was basically in a quadriplegic condition, paralyzed from the waist down, right side of my body paralyzed. And I had to learn to walk again. I was only 17, so it was very, very important for me. And what I did is I just replaced myself with this character, Rocky. The movie was already written, everything was in line for a perfect manifestation. All I did was replace myself with Rocky. We were both looking at unbeatable odds, impossible odds, and we both came out on top. There's so many ways that but it's natural because I manifested. I just copied Sylvester Stallone's writing, his movie. Thank you, Rock Sly. I really do appreciate it. Saved my butt. Now we get into the rehab hospital. They first put me on a tilt table, get me used to standing up again. Then the next memory I have is on a exercise bike, and I had a love-hate relationship with this thing. I loved it because I knew I needed to get stronger, and that's how I was going to get stronger. But I hated it because the atrophy, I had no muscle tone whatsoever. It hurt like hell, burnt like hell. Oh my God. But I knew I had to do it to get better. And I would push myself. I had a great physical therapist. She would push me, and it would be to the point where I'd get off that exercise bike. This was after I'd learned to walk just a little bit, and I couldn't walk at all. They'd have to call somebody to come get me in a wheelchair. My legs were so wobbly and so weak and twitching so bad. That's how hard I worked out, and I kept that up. I remember one time we were running a shuttle run. The PTA had us running a shuttle run, and we started taking off. Like I said, this is when I just started learning to walk again. I didn't know how to run again. And when I ran, I drugged the right side of my body because it was paralyzed. Well, I got going too fast. I ended up falling, but I rolled with the fall. I ended up getting an abrasion on my arm. It bled a little bit, but I heard the PTA's chair screech back. And the guy I was running with, he looked at me and he came over to give me help. And I pushed myself up, like a toddler does when they're standing up, because that's how bad my balance was. And I just looked at him and said, run. And we both took off. And of course, he beat me. But that doesn't matter. The physical therapist, she just kind of freaked out. She was like, yes, yes, that's the way to do it. Never give up. And I was just like looking at her like, well, yeah. I mean, we're supposed to run and do this as fast as we can. To me, it was just normal. And that was the vigor and fight I had. Now, going back a little earlier to when I was learning to walk again, they first had me behind a wheelchair. I was pushing the wheelchair. That would help me with balance, and I could strengthen myself. Well, once I got out of that wheelchair, they played hell getting me back in that wheelchair. But anyways, after every therapy, whether it was occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, I would walk around the barracks, the inside of the perimeter, to strengthen my legs. And I would walk so far, not far, but to me it was far. It was so hard that my legs, I went past the point of my legs burning. I went past the point of my legs wobbling, and I went a little past that point to complete muscle failure, and my legs just gave out. All my body weight, which was only 98 pounds at the time, went crashing down to the cement floor. And my kneecaps, once they hit that floor, my God, it felt like they shattered. I was in so much pain. That was the only time I fell to my knees. It only took once. And I really did. I thought I broke both my kneecaps. That hurt like crap. And of course, I got in trouble for doing it because they had to write all kinds of reports, call the doctor, all this, you know. But I was like, hey, I'm sorry, you guys got to go through all those problems, but I'm going to do whatever I have to do to learn to walk again. And that's what I did. And it was so weird. After all this work, the day that I was to walk out, I was scared to death. When that door opened and I was going to enter the real world once again, I was like, I am in no condition to enter the world again. I can barely walk. But the insurance company said, hey, you can walk, carry your ass right on out the door. So that's what I did. And I'll pick up after the rehab hospital. It starts getting good from here on out. Ooh. Talk to you later.